Well, hello there, everyone, on a Saturday, and I want to reach out and say thank you for joining me again on another live stream from Cave Creek, Arizona. It's summer's here. I guess for those in the area here, I guess even the West Coast, we're getting some really some record high temperatures in LA area. So it's I tell everyone, I told my friend Dave Landoni, the great bass player over in the East Coast, we kind of compare bike notes, and I was out on my bike ride today, and I said, when I start needing 2 water bottles, I know summer's here. It's like, so I went out for a nice ride in the hills and had to get back off. Actually, it was a quick one to get back because I know this heat was coming, and it's still we're a few degrees cooler than down in Phoenix here up in Cave Creek, but it's I want to. Again, welcome you all to another episode here. And I just I keep accurate notes on everything I play, so I'm trying to create a different broadcast every time with different tunes. So it really is it makes it really interesting for me and for you too. So here's what this is, number 15. Believe it or not, it's been because I've spreading it out between YouTube and Facebook. So I came up with it kind of hit me the other day. I was spending quite a bit of time on the YouTube. I had a great show on Thursday night, and some of you were on at that. And it was it's the nice thing with on YouTube platform is I'm able to see the broadcast will stay there. What happens on Facebook, unfortunately, is they kind of go down further in my feed, and so people won't get a chance to see these kind of cool hangs that we're having here. So, but what I'm doing is I've figured a way to get the Facebook, still keep doing the Facebook streams, but I'm able to convert it to MP4, upload it, so eventually all the live performances will be on YouTube, so you'll be able to see them on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't, which brings up another point, the YouTube channel, please subscribe over there. That's where I'm going to be putting all sorts of anything to do with music, from my teaching. I'll eventually be doing some workshops and some master classes and things there once I get my switcher here and get a couple more angles to run cameras. And but I'm really enjoying this, and it's a great way, of course, during this difficult time to get everyone together. So I have some. Last week I wrote, or the last show I did was was one of my original compositions, and Forever April. And it's really been a really fun tune. And this particular one coming up now is going to be. Let's see if I'm not sure if I. Let me check my notes here. I keep pretty accurate notes, and when I want to see if you guys have you heard it, Forever April, here on the Facebook side of things. Maybe not. It was one of my originals, but anyway, it's on one of my others. It's on the last show I was on. So I'm trying to write composition. I'm being very inspired by all this downtime and sitting at the piano all day and really spending a lot of time. So I've got quite a few tunes, and each one has a little story. So of course, Forever April was my first one, and it felt like April was going to go on forever. So that was a cool one, and you're going to hear that at the very end of the show. I have it a recording of me playing it for you to enjoy if you haven't heard it yet. Today I have a brand new one. Coming at you, and I think you'll find this one to be rather interesting as well. So I'll be getting to that. We're going to start off today with a great tune called, again, old tunes. I'm going to be picking some common ones and some really very fitting ones. Oh, before we get on to the first tune, that first tune was "It Might As Well Be Spring" with the trio. That was a trio I had together in California, and there was Sinclair, Lott on drums, and the great Roger Shew, who we're very blessed to have. We lost him a few years ago. He was a wonderful musician, great dear friend, and he was just extraordinary player. And but that was It Might As Well Be Spring. So it seems like spring. We're in spring here. I had to ask Seema, when's summer? When's summer coming? It's like in June, so we're still in spring. But I'll hit you with something else in spring a little later in the show here. So we're going to start off with the first tune, Makin Whoopie. Okay, that was starting off the day with Makin Whoopie. And it's funny, I lose my voice. Let's see who we get in here. We get, Danny Doyle, good seeing you, Danny. Cheryl, Jerry Wilson, good seeing you, man. Bishop David, Kathleen, good seeing you, man. This is really a highlight of my week. It's like, we're so used to having these active lifestyles, and man, to have everything go, into a place now where we got so much time. It's it's just one of those, I'm trying to really embrace it and be really creative with all kinds of things going on. Again, all the shows are going to appear on my YouTube channel. So if you eventually get to YouTube, they're all different. So, and what's really cool too is they're allowing you to be able to put in these timestamps for all the tunes. Like I have last one, I did Lean Baby. I did all these I'm doing all these wild tunes, and so we'll just continue every broadcast be doing different tunes. So it really is it's kind of fun playing. Like I always tell everyone, I'm playing a giant piano bar. Speaking of piano bars, for those that might know the great singer, he's a great singer, Steve Marvin. He's one. I don't have a picture of him right now, but I'll make sure I have it in my logs when I tell you a story about him. But I used to work back east with him, and I've worked a piano bar with this singer, and man, this guy knew every single song and the lyrics to everything. It was extraordinary. He did the whole Sinatra thing, and he did Mel Torme, and he did all the stuff. And he got his Kurt Elling chops up, and so he was really a very very nice cat too, Steve Marvin, and he's pretty well known around the Boston area. And we used to play. I remember working a piano bar with him, and he'd have, back in the day before we had all digital books, he'd have fake books, man, like stacked high, and he knew exactly where the tune was, and he had charts with everything he did. So it made it nice for a piano player. So we went in, and I've worked piano bars with him, and it was a lot of fun, So Steve is a good guy. You ever get a chance to check him out? Steve Marvin in Boston. He's a great guy. Anyway, then this next tune coming up is one that I like to play a lot, and it's a lot of fun to play. It's called Samba De Orfeo. That was Samba De Orfeo, and that was again. It was a very tough. It's a fun tune to play. You could do so many different things with it, and I had a great pleasure to play that with all the trios I work with, and quartets and such. I see my daughter Brooke in here. Dan Haygood. Hey man, good seeing you, Dan. And of course Jimmy Page. The all my East Coast buds, coming out. I set this at 5:00, so it's a little bit. It's a little more conducive to those people on the East Coast, particularly my mom, who is, she tries to get in here whenever she can, and it's really great. She'll be 92. I was supposed to be in Florida now for her 92nd birthday, and of course, kept me away. So I'm glad I can reach her this way. So it's really cool. This next piece of music that I have, it's bringing up some memories. I don't know about you all, but I'm surely thinking a lot about my life. And what I've done in my life and where I'm going with the life. I think everyone is in this kind of boat right now where you're kind of thinking, especially those who's very, very sad situations out there. So hopefully everything's going to work out and this big cloud will be behind us real soon. But this brings up a very special memory of a person I work with. And I'm going to dig out the picture here. Okay, we're going to go back in time here. You're going to see me with long hair and a mustache and glasses. Here we go. Here I am, Dan Delaney with Karen Cameron. She's the wonderful singer, Karen Cameron, with Chris Rathbun, fabulous bass player. This is at a place called Finity's Country Squire. We used to play there back in the day, and I think I was in my 20s, and many decades ago. And Karen was a marvelous singer. And here we are, the three of us. And we worked this place regularly on the weekends. And people would come back in the day, and they'd fill the dance floor. And you'd get these couples that starts dancing from the first tune, and they'd be there till 11 o'clock. We'd play 7 to 11. And we'd play in this beautiful room. It's called Finity's Country Squire. I don't think it's there. It's in Cochituate and out near Wayland in Massachusetts. And but that was a great, great group, and we worked together for quite some time. And Karen, the reason I started thinking about this is I reconnected with Karen through these broadcasts, and I haven't talked to Karen in years. And so it's bringing back, and not only Karen, but a lot of you that are coming in. That we would probably, because of life's challenges, we probably wouldn't stay connected. And it's not that we don't think of each other, but it just things get in the way. So this had brought up a wonderful opportunity for me to connect with Karen, and we kind of shared some. She had some stories, and But I think of her all the time because she turned me on. I was a young player, and she had incredible charts. So for a piano player to get great charts from a singer is really a great thing. With all good changes and everything. And she had. One of the tunes, she's done like More Than You Know, Sleepin' Bee, all these tunes, Blue Skies. This next tune, I specifically chose this one that I used to do with Karen. It's called Skylark, and it's really a great tune, and it was the title of her album, and she had used, the great Dick Johnson was on it, so, and I'm not sure who was playing piano. I think it might have been, it was either Mike Renzi or Paul Schmeling, but I'm pretty sure. So, but anyway, it's still available out there. It's called Skylark, and she did Sleepin' Bee was another one. I think it was another tune. And but anyway, she's done all these old tunes, and whenever I play these tunes, I think of Karen. So years later, 35 years later, man, I'm like, I'm still. I think I play Skylark. I think of Karen Cameron because she had such good dictation in her voice. She really would tell the story. So I have these words in my head when I play the tune. So anyway, I hope you enjoy Skylark. There you go, Skylark. It's one of those, just one of those classic tunes, and it's again, it's not really often played. You know, I mean, shouldn't say that. I guess there's still a lot of people that play it, but it's one of those kind of things that you don't hear it that much. You know, so there's so many tunes, man, just to play. So this brings up this very next one, and every one of my originals has a story. And it's really ever since I've been writing, I always have some kind of a vision when I write these things. And this next one is it's called "Welcome Back, Geronio." Now, what the Geronio is, it's Italian for geraniums, and this picture might be able to shed some light on what's happening here. This is in our courtyard, and these geraniums were dead. And we have 4 pots, and the whole courtyard's filled with them. And they all came back to life with just a lot of focus and love and care. And we had we made them come back. So it was like I'm writing this music, and of course I'm out there trimming the things and watering them every other day. And I learned you don't put irrigation to geraniums, because if you water them every day, they will not live. At least in my house. But it's when you let them dry out, and then, you know, so we figured it all out. And but anyway, it's really been it was kind of cool to see them all just every day. They're just blooming more. It's like going crazy. So it's kind of so I called this tune "Welcome Back, Geronio." I see Dave Landoni just get in. He's a madman on the bike. I mean, I thought I went out and killed it for like an hour and 6 minutes today. Got my heart rate up. Dave did 50 miles on the bike out in Boston. So he's just and cyclists will get it. You know, when you start getting into this, it's such a pensive kind of way. I get out there, and man, I do so much thinking, and it's my peace and quiet time. It's like, it's really, I get really, you know, I really, I couldn't ask for a better, you know, it's better sport to get out there and do it. And it's especially for us older guys, you know, we're not out to prove anything, but we can keep our heart rate up really high all day. So it's cool. This next tune, again, "Welcome Back, Geronio." Well, there you have it. Welcome back, Geronio. It was one of those kind of, pensive things that turned into this, kind of a wild thing. All these, I had to add some diminished changes in there and stuff. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. And that was, again, it's always fun to share new compositions with a crowd out there. See, Scott just came in. Dave Lindoni, I got to tell you, Dave, but you missed out. I got to show you, Dave. Dave. There's a story between Dave and this next picture. I don't know if he was in when he saw this, but name the bass player, Dave. That's my friend Chris Rathbun. Great bass player. But Dave, I guess it was his first steady gig that he shared. And another time we mentioned Chris's name. Chris was the bass player. He had a gig there and in the Bay Tower Room in Boston. So Dave Landoni is a great bass player too. So we're kind of all reminiscent here back in, decades, going back to in our 20s, man. It's like really pretty wild. So this next tune coming up is, before I forget too, I have a couple of thoughts here I wrote down that I wanted to share. I have, many of you know I teach piano by video correspondence. This is a big thing that I do. I'm very, very very active. I have the cameras here and I have, lights, and here's the piano sounds so good because of this Earthworks microphone, and I have to always plug them because they are just my right arm when it comes to providing the great sound, and I've been blessed to be an artist for the company. And this piano is all my recordings, I use this microphone, so it's really kind of, it's really special. But what I had done is, and I teach by correspondence, but the big thing here is with this being a tough time for people and everyone's home, I've got a lot of interest in people wanting to study piano. So, of course, I can fulfill that. But on other levels, I have a website up. I have books that have been out. Play Piano in 6 Weeks or Less was the first one that came out 10 years ago. We had enormous success with Sterling Book Publisher. And I wish the authors did. No, Sterling's been great, but anyone that knows that published a book through a publishing company, the authors, we do well, but it's a typical, even though we sold 350,000 copies, it was like, we did okay, but it was like one of those, it's not always what it appears to be when they wholesale books and you get a portion of it and the authors get X%. And so, but, when you release your rights like that, it's all about marketing and exposure. So they've been really good. But they put a second book together, and so that's out too. So what I done to make that book experience more exciting for my users is to supply free videos in the book. So I took it a step further on my website. You go to pianoinstruction.com, and all my stuff on my website is free right now. Everything. I'm just letting everything go, and it's this is just a time where people, a lot of times they can dabble with certain things that are on there. A lot of the stuff will be either out of your level or not at your level. And but of course, for studying corresponding with me, you can contact me and I'll be happy to work with you. But at least this would give you, maybe whet your appetite a little bit and get you, jump in the pool, so to speak, and try some things out and see if it's something you'd like to pursue. Whether it be piano, flute, guitar, this is times like this can really get you to think about what's really important to yourself and how to become creative and innovative in the time you have down. So I've been just really working a lot with this whole streaming thing. And like I say, for those that might have just came in, all my YouTube, all my broadcasts will eventually be on YouTube. So I found a way that today, actually, how I can start moving these shows that on Facebook that I'm getting a great audience, then I can push these over onto the YouTube platform as well, so they can keep them all kind of so they can be seen, because in the Facebook they'll drop down on the timeline. So anyway, we're going to continue now with an old tune that's just it's actually an old blues tune. It's just fun to play, and it's called Doxy. Hope you enjoy. There you have it, Doxy. We got here. Good seeing PJ. Good seeing you, man. And Catherine, good seeing you. And again, thank you all for coming in. This is really, again, it's a highlight of my day because there's no gigs, it's very, you're not even seeing my family, all my kids. And again, I hope everyone's doing okay through all this. This is kind of a nice forum to kind of really kind of unwind and kind of forget about things a little bit. And you can surely do it through music. Music is just a great thing. I've used this as a healing source for me, man. I mean, I've used it all the time when deepest, darkest times to happiest times. It's where I go. This is, I see Mark Perney. Mark Perney is in here. Where's Mark? Kathleen just said, Mark Perney is responsible for this piano sounding so good. But I'm going to need him back here. I'm getting spoiled when you get a brand new piano, and I've been playing it a lot. And it's just one of those kind of things. When you got a good tuner, man, he's great, and he knows what I like and what I don't like. So he's got the piano figured out quite well. And so anyway, we're going to continue here on a really interesting tune called "Seeing It Spring," and we're going to do "Spring Can Hang You Up the Most," and so hope you enjoy it, okay? Well, there you have it. Spring can hag you up the most, and I want to see who's good seeing you, Mark. Giving you my high five through the piano, and we'll be hopefully I'll see you soon, and we'll get this. We'll stay on top of this more regularly. It's always good, you know. Glad you enjoyed it, Jerry. And again, I want to thank you all for stopping by tonight and being part of tonight's little gathering. It's so fun for me. You know, it really is. Do yourself a favor, and you can hear some of the other shows that we've had in the past. I had this was interesting, and I shared it with my Thursday crowd, and I can run it by again before I leave the picture here. This is I showed this my gang at YouTube on Thursday, but I'll show you guys. This is me when I started teaching piano. There I am with the mustache and the you know, and I was in the South Shore of Boston here in 1991, teaching by video correspondence. Here I am. I moved to New Hampshire. I had my whole trapeze thing with giant cameras and all done with piano, video. Piano teacher never meets his students. I have here's the Boston Herald wrote about me. Brock the Piano Man now teaching Wagner by video. I mean, it was a big deal back then. You know, now it's a common household name, you know, but here I am, the Brockton Sunday Enterprise. Brock the musician blends piano, video, and the postman. You know, again, it was, and here I am, Video Maker magazine wrote about my creation of this thing that was kind of no one was doing. It was my vision. It was like my vision it was enabling me, when I created it, I was able to say, okay, I'm living in Boston, and I didn't have this world crisis over my head back then, and so I was able to kind of calculate how I was going to make this thing really work for me. So I was able to take a very successful teaching career that I've had there, and I was blessed because I was studying with Charlie Banakis and Harvey Diamond and Dick Odgren and Paul Schmeling and all the Boston guys, and so I was starting to get really some great students, and because of that, my exposure to other great teachers that I was studying with, so people would wanted to study with me to learn the stuff, or while they're waiting to get with Charlie or Harvey, and they'd study with me. So it was a way for me to leave the city life and say, okay, I'm going to go raise a family and move to the mountains. And I thought it was always really cool, you know, and you know, it really was. And I think about my good friend Fred Haas, great tenor player and great piano player too. He's a very dear friend, and he's the head of the music department at Dartmouth. And he was living up in Enfield, New Hampshire, way up near Woodstock, Vermont. And so I'd go up and would regularly hang, you know, back when we were kids. And it was we're kids, we were in our 20s, you know, it's kids now. But anyway, it's and I really had marveled at lifestyle that he was living. And then you start reading about all these great piano players and these great players out there that are living in the middle of the woods out in upstate New York and stuff. You know, they want the peace and quiet. You know, because I guess maybe because it comes from working and driving into Boston, playing at the Marriott Hotel every night and in slush and traffic, and then so I moved to New Hampshire, and by developing the video teaching, I was able to take all my teaching with me and do correspondence and develop that's how my business had started back in 1989. In 1991 is where I got the reviews and the newspapers and all the media and the Keyboard magazine and all. And then I went to I moved to New Hampshire, started playing with very great musicians up there, John Hunter, Charlie Jennison, who I've been talking to Charlie regularly too now. So it's like this is an unbelievable media right now for us to, maybe because it's so much downtime that we're just finding what's really important to us is to connect with all these people that touch your life, you know. So that's what I've been doing, and so I had a really cool lifestyle where I've been able to teach by correspondence, and now I had it in place, you know, here when this all hit, and I've talked to a few teachers that were making the switch right now because of the need to, you know, to stay employed because they shut everything down. So I was glad to offer my just assistance. Again, it's just one of those things that we'll be beyond this real soon, hopefully, and maybe the new normal will be a place of more compassion and more more still time, because I think, frankly, I know myself, I'm going to miss being so quiet. So like, it's like really, because I'll get back into my routine again, and it's like, it's hard to not, it's very easy, I should say, to lose sight of what's really important. So I think this is a really good check and wake up call for me personally, and probably for many of you out there, to really find out where you want to go, when this starts going back. So anyway, I want to wish everyone the very best. This next tune I'm going to leave you with, it's a recording here of my Forever April, and this is, I hope you enjoy it. It's like, it's just, it was a nice tune, and it's, again, I'm getting very inspired to write all this music. So I get another new one coming next time I see you. So I'll be on my YouTube channel Thursday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Mountain Standard Time and Pacific Time is still the same right now. So for those that might not know, and then I'll be back here on Facebook at 5 p.m. same time, same channel. So until then, you all take care, and hope to see you again sometime real soon. And be sure to check out my YouTube channel. You can check out all the rest of the shows on my Facebook feed, and and unwind and listen to some music, and support your music out there. It's really a great thing. It brings you to a nice place. It's a peaceful place to be. Okay, so until next time, take care. God bless.